this video, I'm going to show you step by step from start to finish on how to do print and cut a JPEG file using Cricut Design Space, and I'll be using the latest version 5.4.10. This is the desktop only version since the web version no longer supported. Okay, let's start. Now we're gonna go upload image, and I'm gonna drop in the JPEG file, and I'm gonna select simple, continue, and then I'm gonna use the wand for eraser, this one over here top left, click that and click anywhere on around the outside to delete that. So now you have a transparent background. Okay, now we hit continue, and then I'm gonna save it as print and cut. It should be selected already. Click save, or you can change the name here if you want. Save. Okay, this is uploaded. Now I'm gonna insert the image. Okay, as soon as you insert it, you already have print and cut over here. Okay, gonna rescale it, make it bigger. Notice over here, see the exclamation mark as I scale it. When I scale it bigger, it comes up. You can click on this. So basically the maximum size is 6.75 by 9.25 inches. And I'm gonna print this with the maximum size allowed. So since it says 9.25, and I'm gonna rotate this 90 degrees. And I'm gonna reduce this to 9.25. That's it. That's the maximum size that you can do print and cut. And I use the max height. Okay, so basically at this point you're ready to go to the next step to do print and cut. So go hit make it. This is what you'll be printing. Notice the black box around it. That's where your Cricut Maker or Explore machine gonna scan to know where the image is, and it will cut accordingly. And material size is 8.5. Okay, so hit continue. And I'll be using a maker to cut this. So you can mouse over here and see that. You can go back in there if you need to make changes. Mirror if needed. So it's important that you just leave it at the top left corner, and after you print out, you should put the your material right where that is, so that the when the machine runs, you'll know where to scan for the lines. So if you put it somewhere else, it will not work. Okay, now we're gonna go to send to printer. Okay, this is the important part. I have the default printer This is my default printer. I have a lot of them, but let's stick with this one. So for this one, art bleeds. Normally I would turn it off, but you can leave it on. When it's good time to use this, if you have the outline that are the same color, so that when it bleeds out, it would not affect the image inside. And I guess this is where you're gonna need to print and experiment more with that, but at this point I'm just gonna turn it off. And this one, use system dialog. This is quite important. Basically this is the most important part on this screen right here. So when you have it turned off and you hit print, it will send directly to your printer and print out whatever that you had default setting on your printer. And my printer have a black and white only default, so when I hit print, it will print me a black and white image instead of a color one. And I'm gonna do a print anyway, just so that I can show you the difference. Print. Okay, now I'm gonna print another one. Go back here. You can go back as many times as you like. Set the printer. Okay, this time I'm gonna turn on the system dialog. And what this does is that it will send to the print dialog where you have a lot more options. Okay, now I'm gonna hit print. So now I have the print dialog right here. So this is my default printer, and now I'm gonna hit preferences. So notice how I have mono, so it only print black and white by default. So now I'm gonna hit color. So at this point you can just continue, hit OK and continue as usual, but for me I'm gonna go one step further and do print preview. This is basically a final view where you can see what exactly is being printed out, so that you can actually cancel it if it's not what you expected. Okay, I'm going to keep the print preview on, hit OK, and then hit print. So now this is my print preview. So everything looks good. So at this point I can just close this window if I don't want to print. But if I want to print, I'm going to hit print here. Okay, that one would be a color printout that would just send to the printer. And since this is just a tutorial video and I didn't load any paper in there other than the regular printing paper, so I will be picking the copy paper. This one. Done. Okay, at this point I'm just gonna load the printout onto the mat and start printing. And we're gonna go to the next screen. Okay, so these are the printout. The black and white was the one that I didn't change the setting. So by default it prints out whatever that was set with the printer. If you have a color as default for your printer, then you don't need to go to the printer settings. And this one, after I change the settings to color, so let's try cutting. This is a standard grip. It's not recommended for copy paper because it will stick too much to the mat, but this is an old mat, so it's actually not sticky anymore, so it's fine using this. Remember that when I do the printout, it was laid out like this. If you try to put it here or anywhere here, it will not work. Just make sure to follow exactly where you put the image on the mat. It doesn't have to be too exact, just as close as you can. The mat is not sticky, so even just paper is not even sticking well to the mat anymore, so this is fine. Now we go to the machine view. Okay, machine is blinking with the low light, so it's asking you to load your material in. I'm gonna hit cut. Notice it's scanning the lines, the boundary box, so that it knows exactly where to cut. Done. Okay, so there's a problem with my cut here. Under normal circumstances, you shouldn't be having this problem. This is just me using really old mat, and this is paper, copy paper. It doesn't cut that well. It rips easily, so maybe I should have used at least light cardstock for this kind of test. So now I'm just gonna peel it. However, that's still sticking to paper. We'll fix that later. So this is what the cutout looks like. Notice there are some flaws here where the cuts are not exactly to the line. So depending on your printout and your mat, if it's not completely flat against the mat, or if there's any kind of shift, you may not get like a close cut like this corner, so it may shift a little, but whatever that came out is still acceptable. Now I'm gonna load the other one and try cutting again. Okay. Load the black and white one. This time I'm gonna reverse the mat, so this side is it sticks better, so maybe it will have a better cutout. Okay. Again, it's scanning for the binding boxes so that it knows where to cut. Looks like it rips again. Okay, so the cutout from the copy paper did not turn out that good because the cuts got ripped, and this time I'm gonna print it on light cardstock. So again, I'm gonna use a system dialog just to make sure that I'm printing out a color version. I'm changing to color, and I don't have to go to print preview anymore since I'm sure that it'll print exactly what I want. So I'm gonna hit OK, print. So there's no print preview screen that pop up since I did not check that box. And then go to the material setting. I'm gonna select light cardstock, and I'm gonna load the paper onto the machine again. Let's go to the other view. Okay, so I printed the same design onto light cardstock again, and see how I cut this time. I think I should put it back because notice how this is lifted, so my mat is too old and it doesn't stick well anymore. I'm going to try the other side. I should probably use a better mat during video like this. Again, this is not safe. Now I'm using a blue mat, which is more sticky than that green mat that has been beaten up. And this time I also line it up so that it's not perfectly on top here, like here. But it's lined up vertically. Let's see how it cuts. So when the machine scans the lines, it should be smart enough to detect where the paper is. One of the main reasons that your material gets ripped during cutting is because the material does not stick to the mat. So when the blade drags over the material and the material does not stick to the mat, it will just pull the material along with the blade, causing it to rip instead of an actual cut. That's why the mat needs to be sticky enough. So if you need to buy a new one, you should. That's it, it's done cutting. Now let's see the difference. So cutting the light cardstock, there's no rip. Let's see. When you're peeling the paper from the mat, always bend the mat so that you pop the material out. Because if you peel the paper become curved, so that's not what you want. Just pop it out instead. There, it came out perfectly. So cutting on light cardstock is much better than cutting on copy paper. And for something like this, you probably are going to be cutting sticker paper, which will come out even better. Because there's a backing on sticker paper, you have much less chance than it actually ripping the material.
That's it.